Okay, so this one is kind of another like distro retrospective. So it's on a since defunct distro or discontinued distro. And the website that it was on is very different, a very different beast from what it was. Well, it's a dead website now, but it's very different from when I first used it. So Bridge Linux is basically, like it says, an Arch-based distribution. Basically, it doesn't have its own repos like Manjaro or like Garuda does. So it's basically vanilla Arch with a GUI pre-set up for you, which is kind of how I really first got into Arch and like actually manually configuring X configurations and stuff like that. So this was kind of like my gateway drug into Arch-based distros and more minimal ones. I had actually kind of picked this one up back in 2011, 2012, and I believe I came back to it after that, or I went to Linux Mint after that, and then went back to Arch-based distros either way. But basically, it is pretty vanilla Arch repos. So it's got those pre-set up for you. Vanilla Arch GUI set up for you. And I believe it had a GUI installer, maybe. So yeah. If you, like I said, it's discontinued. So if you try to go to the website, it gives you this. So that's why I've got our friend, the Wayback Machine, pulled up. So the earliest version that they have is a very different website from what I had, and it really doesn't change until, what was it? Till the beginning of 2018. So this is what it became in the beginning of 2018. A basically parked and dead website. And come on, buddy. So January, it's dead. And then if I can get it to load up quickly. So yeah, now it's no longer available and so on. And so it's basically in the same state since January of 2018. But if you go back to 2016, if it loads up any quicker, this is the nature of the beast that is very different. It was a dark website before, but then it kind of transitioned to like this more modern feel to it. And yes, it was a fast setup, easy installation, vanilla Arch repos, rolling release because Arch-based, and I never really got into the community when I was using it, so yeah. But again, this was my intro to Arch-based distros and kind of the, how do I put it? Gateway into that, and kind of my developed love for it. So it's got a page here on Distro Watch still, and it was last updated the 30th, the end of January of this year, 2023. Here is the dude's website. Let me actually grab that one, and we can see if, yeah, see. Still, well, it's here. Yeah. Not sure. Next thing. Account doesn't exist. Well, sad day. So most traces of it have gone except for like the website for it. I think I still have a CD with it on it though, but I don't feel like pulling it out. But somewhere I'm pretty sure I've got a CD for it. And yeah, this is basically what you got was this. It was kind of the bridge between like other more heavily graphics based distros like Ubuntu or Linux Mint to Arch, where you were doing more of the stuff by hand yourself. And it was really cool. It had a few different versions like XFCE, LXDE. They've got KDE and GNOME listed here. And that was before the whole, like, oh, what was it? GNOME 3 thing that they did way back when it first came out. Oh my goodness. That makes, yeah. But the SourceForge is still up, so you can still technically pick up versions of this if you want to. So I don't know if I want to open it or not. Let me. Huzzah. Okay, here's the boot screen. I just downloaded an ISO and went from there. But we can boot up to it. I think it should have some of the requisite drivers from the get-go. So I did get the 64-bit version. When I was first using it, I was using the i686 version because that's the version that my stuff supported. And I was running on a Intel Atom-based netbook. So I think I should be able to... Where is my display? 800 by 600. Okay. I don't care about that. Yes, it does have the notifications. They had that way back in the day. So I think I'm pretty happy with it. This is the XFCE version. So you see it came with Terminator, Chromium, and this, yeah, way back when. Dang. Thunar, of course, because that's the default XFCE file manager. You've had your basic text editor, notes, Clipman, whatnot for that kind of thing, calculator, gthumb for your image viewing, but so it was pretty basic. Transmission came in a lot of distros and still does in a few of them, as well as Thunderbird. Let's see, what, Avahi, VNC, and SSH. Dead Beef, Audio Mixer, XF Burn, because CD burners were still a thing back then. Abbey Word, Numeric, so a couple basic Office applications. What, Calendar or Global Time, a dictionary, post-install script, and yeah, gparted, some basic system, what all have you. But yeah, it was pretty basic, and like I said, you could sit there, and being as it was Arch-based, you had a Pacman in there. And if I go... kind of gives you an idea of how old this actually is. For this version, at least. But yeah. Bridge Linux, pretty basic, but still kind of decently powerful if you were looking at getting into Arch Linux at the time. I used it quite a bit for a while, and I loved it. It was very lightweight, especially in certain cases where the computer that I was using was crappy and Windows XP was killing it. This environment made it easier to run on those computers. And that's what I had used it for in some cases as well, is pop the live CD in, run Chromium, and all of a sudden, like, the network was running much faster than on Windows XP even. If you enjoyed the video, then like, comment, subscribe, feed the algorithm, boost the video up, share this video with your friends. If you found it informative or you just want to chat, I've got plenty of places in the description, Discord, Guilded, and what have you. Check those out, and I will see you guys in the next one.